Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to another Napoleon Total War battle. Today we have the Grand Battle Mod again, another 4v4. This one is on an Ireland map. I cannot remember exactly which one it is. Yeah, this one was sent in by Captain, who I believe works very, very closely in this mod with a couple other people in the modding community. Yeah, it sounded like it was a really good battle, so we're going to check it out and see. Now, we have a lot of British. In fact, it is solely British versus 3 French and 1 Russian army here. Obviously, the Russians probably didn't actually fight against the British. I'm sure there was some hostility, but never truly. But in today's battle, they have actually joined, even though actually there was historically a time when they were allied with Napoleon right before, Napoleon invaded them again with a real, actual army, like the Grand Army. So technically, I guess the Russians were with the French for a little bit here. But yeah, so the Russians are here on this one flank. Look at these guys. And there's only one, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more over there. Marching across. The majority of the British are kind of stretched out along this hillside. A lot of nice fences and such. I do believe I see some artillery already starting to fire here. Yep. Ooh. She got a kill there. But they're going to be pushing up here. A lot of cavalry hung on the flank. Probably just trying to keep an eye out. Obviously, the French, I don't think they're actually hanging, holding fast here. We are seeing a little bit of a skirmish here between the French and the British. But not a lot happening yet, guys. Honestly, I mean, I wasn't sure when stuff was going to actually start happening, so I kind of waited my time. I may skip ahead if nothing happens for a little while until the action actually truly starts. I mean, we do have a bit of a charge here. Looks like the Dragoon Guard gonna go in against some skirmishers, start slicing them up a little bit. We get flanked by some hussars from France, and actually the British may not do too well as they get shot up as well, and they do break and they start taking off. Ooh, howitzers though starting to drop in here. If you saw my last stream, we used howitzers with great effect, so I'm kind of curious how that's going to work. We have some chasseurs, some light infantry pushing up with a mass amount of the 95th Rifles. Nice little skirmish happening. We see the French hanging out here. But they probably will fall back just a little bit here. They obviously don't want to risk anymore. Now, the British have an excellent position on the hill. Nice little line set up. We'll see if they try to use massive artillery. We do have more Russians now showing up against the British on the flank. Let's see if we can get a volley off here. You on fire? More Russians pushing up here, so this is definitely where looks like the British are going to make first contact with an actual sizable army. Sizable contacts. You can hear the British returning fire. They have a lot of light infantry here, KGL. Checking out the smoke effects. Looks like they added some new smoke effects, so checking it out. Nice. nice solid volleys from the British. Someone was asking, maybe commenting, I'm not sure if it was a comment or an ask, about the stats and what units kind of gets favored with the stats. So they make all the stats basically the same. Obviously there's a couple of units that have, like some of the guard units may have, you know, a numerical, like, you know, instead of 17, I mean, this is not a number, a real number, obviously. I'm just giving examples. I can't remember the stats. Like, oh, 15, they have 15 morale. That's ridiculously high morale. But, you know, like, the old guard may have 17 morale, and the Coldstream Guard may have 16 or 15. But besides one or two specific units of guard, everything else is exactly the same. So they make that so that the plays, you have to actually maneuver because you're going to be basically the same as the other army when it comes to stats. So you need to get your reserves in the right place, get angles of attack on them, like putting units right here and shooting down the flank. You're going to shoot them up a lot faster. That's how you have to play this mod, guys. It's not as much, it's not like NW3 or anything else where there's so much difference in units stats where you have to be careful and know your army when you first play. I mean, this one you still have to know your army, but not to the same extent as NW3. NW3 is a totally more detailed, finely tuned machine for a mod, which this is not even close to NW3, guys. For those who keep asking, it is not at all. I would not discourage anyone. Try NW3 still. You're definitely going to find the different play styles from this versus other. Nice volleys, though. I'm kind of liking it. I feel like they did a lot of reworking recently with some stuff. The shots are looking good. Now we're starting to see maybe a little bit more contact here in the center. Maybe just a bunch of skirmishers still. Just kind of doing what they do. I can't tell if this is ultra or large unit sizes. 120, man. I feel like this is ultra. Maybe this is large, though. Still, large is quite large, you know? Like, no duck, you say large is large. What kind of mistake is that? So, like, this unit right here, getting shot up by an artillery piece and nice direct hit from a howitzer. But there's multiple units. Life tree do shoot better than line infantry. So, yes, life tree are going to outshoot them. It's a trick, actually, put your life tree on the flanks and just start chipping away at their flank without receiving direct fire. It's really nice. But yeah, the Russia's not going to take this fight very well. They are outnumbered when it comes to this shootout. This is not going to go well for them. They need to employ a lot more troops and get a lot more troops into the fight. Now, you can see the British have a massive amount of artillery going up on this hill. A grand battery for the British. Looks like we actually have a fight here for the two-pointer. And this battle is cool. This is a massive line. Huge battle line with the 4v4. Artillery setup over here, more howitzers. Howitzers are just so much fun. They're so cinematic looking. Let's follow this artillery. Now they did change the spread of howitzers, so it's over a wider area, so you're not as accurate, so it won't be as deadly. Maybe over time they will become more deadly, but you know, when it comes to just firing, you aim for this unit right here, you're gonna hit all this radius around it. So some of them may hit, but not all of them are gonna hit. We have a cav charge here in the center. Looks like a lifeguard charging in against more hussars. They should win this. I'm not sure if they're trying to go for an artillery piece, as there are horse artillery setting up. Looks like we have some Swiss infantry. Looks like some French cavalry have rushed in as well. Ooh, I like the detail in these backpacks. And the lifeguard do break, and they're going to fall back. Hopefully they'll come back. But you can see, guys, here, the British were advancing quite a bit here to get mangled. Probably artillery's about to set up, or Russia just has a nice reserve line. Either way, the real attack still here, where the skirmishers are pushing forward here through a massive amount of smoke. So it looks like a smoke screen from their rifles. But Russia is still holding fast. artillery really starting to strike up this hill, though. When we get the overall view, you can see there's not a particular place where there is a massive amount of concentration of coalition forces at this time. They're just kind of waiting, probably biding their time and seeing what the French do. Ooh. The 9-pounder is getting charged here by some scout hussars. Look on. So we have some militia maybe are going to rush forward trying to save those artillery pieces. This is a like very, very old rivalry between the between the UK and the French. I'm not hearing a whole lot of rolling of musketry yet along the whole way. You can even see on the mini-map, guys, not a lot happening yet. On either side, the British and the Russians are the ones engaging the most, which is kind of interesting. Oh wow, Russia is breaking. I mean, they don't have enough troops up on this line. That's a problem. They are just getting outshot, and only 1 or 2 units was actually shooting. And look at this ring of fire the British have. And now the British will start advancing even more. Now we do have more of a Russian line held up. Shrapnel artillery, maybe a howitzer. Who's running? Uh-oh, artillery's breaking. A 5-inch howitzer just getting counter-batteried. Oh, nice angle with the artillery over here, though. Looks like a general's in danger as well. Yeah, and literally no one seems to want to fight here. I mean, I tend to like to be more aggressive, constantly pressing the attack, obviously unless I'm outnumbered. If I was this British army, I'd be pressuring the flank of the Russians. I mean, they're obviously already getting hit by one British army. Might as well push this line forward, and you can start sweeping them back. Obviously, the French would then be forced to push troops this way, which would then expose them to more and more artillery that can start firing at them. Might as well, you know. That's what I would be suggesting. But, you know, that's the beauty of this game. You can play as you want. And once again, it does look like the French or the UK are getting some better shots off on the Russians, who have three lines. I mean, this line, I guess, right here is kind of engaging with this KGL Lightfoot. But it still looks like the British have better angles of attack. Oh, wow. Alright, we're starting to see a little bit more from the French. In fact, we may even see a push. This is actually a really nice place for the French to actually start pushing across. Look at all the Swiss. The Swiss. Going almost at an angle on this British line that is holding fast. And looks like France may be actually pressing on two sides at once. So they have some guard units over here. First volleys are getting tossed up, drops a couple of those French soldiers who are now going to try to probably reform position. They have the Swiss who are forming up at an angle. They have skirmishers in the front. Oh, this is actually light infantry.
Nothing to be done for the dead now, lads.
Got a shot on them. A little bit back and forth still. Artillery is starting to focus kind of this British center. Just waiting to see the big old, you know, massive fight. Now it looks like this side is actually going to be, you know, taking the brunt of an assault. Oh, they got the officer, didn't they? Man, that was a nice shot. Oh no, they didn't get the officer. They got flag bearer. I think they got the flag bearer. Man. Yeah, France is going to start assaulting this position. Let's see the Swiss in action. There's the old guard. On the flank, dealing... Oh, wow. 2 regiments of old guard. Yeah. I mean, these cavalry could probably do something to them, but they won't break them. Maybe it's time to fall back across the river. That's what I'd be doing. You have a river or a big body of water to kind of defend your flank. You have artillery that can set up a canister, but I'd fall back before they collapse your flank. The British are holding pretty well for now on the hill.
I will shoot any man who wavers.
Didn't know the officer was talking. Let's hop over here where it looks like France actually maybe trying to finally get in. Get a volley off. Let's get their receiving perspective of the volley. Still, you know, it's just a line fight, which those can actually roll on for quite some time. Still a cool shot, though. Oh. Yeah, these Cameron Highlanders are getting focused down. Sides just firing back and forth. The fighting is fierce there. From over here, you can see the French pushing pretty hard, forcing the British to fall back, obviously, as they have Imperial Guard on their flank. They do not want to take a flanking fight. Now, they do have an LOC that is garrisoned by some Highlanders. The Royal Highland Foot. Cavalry in preparation to maybe press that engagement, but man, oh no. We have some old guard about to pour in a volley. Or maybe not. Oh. The cavalry charge one of the old guard units. Looks like some grenadier cheval. Looks like artillery really focusing the area, but a lot of French cavalry. Oh my gosh. They brought like all the grenadier cheval. This UK is not very safe. Now they have cavalry that's going to stop, you know, sort of stop this cavalry charge.
Our men are running, sir.
Like over here, looks like the Russians are actually getting a little bit of losses inflicted. More militia actually pushing forward here. Ooh. Saw a general fall. Oh wow, these guys are getting chopped up. Alright, let's not miss the action happening over here because that line fight's still going. The cavalry still engaging. Fresh Dragoon Guard going in, actually getting maybe a flank off. Things not going so well for France anymore. And they committed quite a lot of cavalry to this engagement. The artillery, I believe, is still safe.
Sergeant, is it me? Or are they trying to kill us?
Man, the artillery's... Oof. You see the losses have been racked up here against the Swiss infantry. And the British still hold the high ground. France seems to have a little bit moved away from that fight. Look at this here, the general from smoke. Right behind the lines, just checking it out. We have cavalry that charged in against the French line.
Close to range! Fire! Our men are running, sir.
More Lightfoot breaking. The Russians have still held fast. A lot of just skirmishing down right there. Over on the flank, it does look like... Yeah, the British are holding fast. They are determined to hold this side of the river. They're not backing off. Have the generals nearby for the morale support. Still have the general up on the hill, just kind of hanging out. Are getting hit really hard by artillery. Look at this. It's a whole mess.
Retreat! Cavalry!
Oh, that's a whole reserve too. Uh-oh, and we have cavalry charging in. Some Grenadier Cheval just absolutely rolling through. Now a back charge from the British cavalry. It probably will break that chasseur unit. But they hopefully will hold off. Now the British are still not pressing too hard on the attack. Russia still staying very defensive. Seeing a little bit of breaking from the British against such heavy columns of France, just pouring a lot of fire. They just have the numbers on them. Also, I saw that the French, not the French, but the British brought a lot of battalion-sized troops, which are not as big as a regiment. Now, they are cheaper, but they are going to be smaller. You see a lot of half battalions here, companies. I don't see a lot of, yeah, full battalions. They just chose to bring half battalions a lot of the time. Can't see anything. Still doesn't look like a whole lot's happening over here. The British are pushing up. Oh, they're letting themselves get flanked by Old Guard. What? Looks like they're actually pushing troops forward as well. Cavalry getting shot up. Coldstream Guards pushing up to deal with them.
Our men are running, sir.
Come on, give them a volley. Come on. What is going on over here, Britain? Oh, they sandwiched them from two sides, though. Look at the Old Guard fighting with their backs to the enemy. Against some Royal Highlanders and Coldstream. That actually may go very well for the British. The British line over here is looking very thin, though, guys. They are running low on men. They've obviously inflicted heavy losses on the French, but they've taken some heavy losses as well. They need to make a breakthrough. You can see France is cycling in new troops. Stiff Dragoons as well. They are pushing in for the final strike. Final push here, because the British are quite honestly about to break. I feel it. They are about to break. So that's gonna be a withering volley. All right, guys. Sorry, we're back. It crashed, unfortunately, which happens every once in a while. We were right back where the French are pushing forward, and about to get probably a very devastating barrage of bullets. These poor Scottish Royal Fusiliers. Oh, man. And they break a British foot company. Just fresh French troops in the field. I mean, what are you going to do? The artillery and everything else is forcing back the 3rd Guard Foot Battalion, and they are just getting hammered by artillery. Some almost perfect artillery shots. And the British are starting to cave up. You see they're adjusting their line against that French force that is just starting to really push things forward here. It does look like the British have at least counterattacked a little bit, driven back the Old Guard. Caused them to break. France kind of just being defensive there. Their line is starting to break here just because of this extra little, well, I was talking about, guys, the flanks. Getting on the flanks. See how these guys are starting to waver? These units are just going to tap on the flank and just start breaking them one after the other, and it could ripple all the way to this battle where the French are winning. Very decisive, even with such cheap, this is not super expensive Westphalian. I think it's Westphalian infantry. Maybe not, but either way, look at this, France adjusting more and more troops. They are using their numbers against the British. Russia's even going in for the 95th Rifles. And winning, of course. Or not, they're going to fall back. Oh, how they break. Yeah, so at least the British have some units left in the back as a reserve line. They still have some cavalry that is fresh. They can throw forward. I mean, they're going to have to readjust their entire line here. France should really be getting very aggressive, I think. Now the artillery way up here on the hill, really still trying to even the odds just a little bit. France falling back to more high ground. Yeah, I mean, they're just getting outplayed here. They do not have the numerical advantage at all, and the British are just absolutely starting to win. Forced to fall back quite a bit. Oh man, look at this. The French line's looking very thin here. The British should be attacking, in my opinion, right here. The French are very weak. Very, very weak here. They have a lot of artillery, of course, but once they get down into the ravine, it's not going to hit. So we have more cavalry from France. Scout cav charge again does break that. Another light infantry company.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, we have cavalry charging forward. Now this is not going to go well, I think, for the oh my gosh. They are full sending all of the cavalry. Now they're in a square formation already, so this is just going to be, they need to pull their cav out instead of throwing more in. Oh man, don't keep throwing in. Don't back charge your own cavalry. It worked. I think infantry, yeah, infantry going into melee as well. So oh my gosh, the French are actually breaking against so much cavalry in the center. And you can see the wavering starting to happen. Cavalry starting to run down more and more troops. You have more and more line infantry starting to press forward. Everything going straight from this gap. And this whole center for France just caves instantly. What a ballsy cav charge. And it ended up working out well. Now they do have an old guard unit that is in reserve. We'll see how well this goes up against the cavalry. Either way, ooh, we have more cavalry going for the guns.
This is bloody dangerous.
Uh-oh. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, this one cav unit's gotten 2 kills, but there we go. The artillery, I think, is about to break. How come they're able to fire? There we go. Alright, so France definitely is about to lose their guns. And France has broken in the center. Russia is the one trying to tie up everything. So the UK went from losing that middle line fight to actually winning just due to the amount of cavalry they brought. It'd be fun to play artillery cav corps as the British. I feel like that would be a very fun thing. Maybe I have to do that in my next live stream. Just bring cav and what is happening here? How are they still firing? Alright, the French still have a line though. And they are still a very serious threat. And you see they're still breaking the British. I mean, that charge, okay, that charge may still have done quite a bit of damage here.
Our men are running, sir.
But what's left of Russian lines is going to push over to kind of try to reinforce this center that has just caved to the cavalry. And obviously the cavalry is still very fresh. I mean, it's active and tired, so they just got to rest it up and hope that they can hold against the old guard that is just... This old guard is going to shred up this line, guys. That's my prediction. Oh, wow. We have the foot guards going to go for a melee. Hopefully they can get some nice flanking volleys as well. Come on, Cameron's foot may need to either charge in and get into this fray or shoot some flanking volleys here Oh, they break them. Oh, they break them. And now there's one left. Cavalry's going right back in here. Oh, a general's getting caught up in this now. The last stand of the old guard. It does look like actually the British are probably going to win this this battle after all. I mean, despite all of the tough fighting in the center, and the old guard's still holding. Cavalry, is it seriously? Oh, never mind. I was like, is it seriously trying to go for the gun still? Alright, they finally break them. Ooh, we have some French cavalry. Oh, you know. This is the traditional, you know, the French old guard is in a square at the end of Waterloo, the movie, and they just bring up artillery and infantry and then just like kill them all. It's kind of what this is kind of looking like. Now what's mostly left is a Russia. Fighting the good fight still. Oh, look at this cav unit. What a guy. Just hanging out in the middle of a square, just chopping away. He's like, I'm getting the eagle. The eagle's mine. What an absolute hero. He does not care whatsoever.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
This is crazy. Oh, he dies. Bravely, he fought, but he dies.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, God, where's his head?
Uh-oh. Duke Wellington is running from the field. You saw it here first, folks. He ran. Don't know if he actually lost his general or not, but... Got some Brunswicks.
Sarge, they nearly...
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that the French alliance is going to make a comeback at this point. Ooh, we have a cav charge in the back lines of this French. Even going for the artillery piece. And looks like they do break. It's not gonna go well for this cabbie. They're all gonna die. Yeah, this flank's just too strong now. They had a numerical advantage on the flank. And there's a hill defense from the French. Russia's just trying to hold a solid line. There's some guard.
Our men are running.
He's Miloski. That old guard unit is still standing their ground. They're just ignoring everything.
Guinea for the man who killed me.
Firing difference. Like, these guys are firing in volleys, these guys are just constantly peppering them down. You're about to break this unit. And there's just a lot of, I saw a lot of French cavalry on this one left flank, and it all died. All Grenadier Cheval committing to a massive cav charge. I feel like they could have prevented a little bit of the cavalry dominance by the UK. The center, maybe not. I don't know. I feel like that definitely led to the defeat of the French. They were holding, or pushing even, quite well up until they had that mass cav charge. Once they had the mass cav charge hitting them, so there's 8 minutes left in the replay. That's going to be a lag. Why I started lagging. Let's get a cool shot of the guy. Actually, come on. We're all looking at you. Shoot. Shoot. There we go. Very nice. That whole guard's still just sitting there. It's quite helps him down. Once this hill fight, I think probably once this hill fight dies off, obviously, like, there's only 7 minutes left. Once they break, I'm going to fast forward to the end unless something happens. There we go. Okay, I think that's the battle here. Like I said, 1 or 2 units maybe have not broken, but at this point, there's just a little last desperate
One of our
defense.
units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Unless something changes here, I'm just gonna skip to the end so we can see the results here. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't know what happened. It just paused out of nowhere. I'm assuming there was a file I had or didn't have. Oh well. It was obviously a clear victory for the British against the coalition. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the kills. That's all right. Maybe I'll try to get them, and if so, I'll record that. But yeah, good battle. Really good battle, man. I love the cav charges and lines and all that stuff was beautiful. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. You guys just keep your eyes peeled for more replays, more live streams, and thank you all so much for the support on the channel. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I will catch you all in another video.